This is Blue Protocol. So Blue Protocol is an MMO that was announced about 2 or 3 years ago. They did one update and one test for like a year. After that, the developers for Blue Protocol went completely fucking radio silent. You didn't hear anything from them. They didn't say anything. There was no communication. And then randomly, at 4 in the morning, which they're in Japan, so it's like normal time for them, but 4 in the morning for us, they said, guys, we've got some announcements. Number 1, the game's coming out this year. Number 2, all of the bug problems you fixed, we're going to spend the next 3 hours talking about them and how we're fixing every single one of them. Number 3, bye. And that was it. And so they have delivered. The game has gone out. It has not come out completely. Global release is going to be handled by Amazon. However, it's being developed in Japan. So this game is coming out globally. I tried to play it with a VPN. I did. They banned me. That's the way it goes. We'll see what MMO Byte has to say about it. We'll see how they like it.
Oh, not an MMO Byte video.
I just got
Oh God, I hate these videos, bro.
Hours of Blue Protocol's Japanese network test. And let me just preface this entire video by stating this game has not only lived up to
No. All right. Before we get into this, before he starts saying all this crazy stuff of it living up to his expectations, let's just remember, I can pull up the video. He said that Blue Protocol will be dead on release. Those were his words. All right. I quote, MMO Byte, Blue Protocol will be dead on release. All right.
my expectation of it, but it has also surpassed it. I played the first beta.
I really
Get
like
the
how you
fuck
can hold
outta here.
hands in the game. That's so important.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yes, we need that. That's so good. We need more content like that. Absolutely. The one thing that'll take Blue Protocol into the stratosphere is like proximity voice chat. Because like if you walk up to some big titty cat girl and then like out of nowhere you see their voice like little icon light up, it's like, "Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah, what's up, man? You want to come do this raid?" I mean, you need that. I feel like you absolutely fucking need voice proximity chat. That's the only thing this game's lacking.
Test that this game had. Admittedly, that beta test had a lot of issues. The combat was kind of clunky, the animations were kind of clunky. There was
range combat in Blue Protocol is infinitely better. I'm gonna play a fucking ranged character in Blue Protocol. I heard a lot of good things.
Asmongold is smoking.
I'm probably gonna play a hunter though.
He is smoking MMO crack, honestly.
Stamina system
for that statement.
for your mount, where you could only use it for a number of seconds. The stamina would deplete, and then you couldn't use your mount anymore. There were so many aspects of the game that needed vastly improved. And after having spent 10 hours roughly in it today, I can say that a lot of the issues that I had, that I saw were present during that first beta test, are no longer there. Now,
great.
If you don't already, I do and will be streaming this over on Twitch.
Well, this guy follows what I do. Every time, massive day, new game, you have to add in big drama. And you have to see, like, sometimes you can't always use the yellow ones. You want to use the red circles. That's the real good one.
Roughly about an hour or so from when this video goes live, and I am hoping to get to content that most people haven't gotten to, that most content creators haven't gotten to, that I personally haven't gotten to. After 10 hours, I pushed further than I did over the 3 days that I spent in it the first beta test. Now, Blue Protocol isn't your typical, your traditional MMO. Typically, MMOs are very linear, or then in cases of Black Desert, they're very open and freeing, but Blue Protocol, it provides a sense of being linear, but also at the same time gives you a level of freedom that you don't typically possess. And let me elaborate on this a little bit.
Yeah, what
so
the fuck?
as an example here,
Yeah,
the
what
class
the fuck?
system. Typically in
Yeah,
MMOs,
what
you
the
have
fuck?
This is true. He's right about this.
a class. That class is specific to your character. You learn your abilities. You, in rare instances, have a talent tree. In
We all know this.
Protocol, I
Everybody
decided
knows
to
this
play
stuff.
mage. As a mage, I am
Spellcaster,
limited to
spell
4
weaver.
different abilities. I have 2 Imagine. The Imagine are creatures. that
Everybody
you
has 2
equip that
Imagines.
essentially function like additional abilities or gear, since they provide you statistical benefits, and you capture them and you.
They're like stands.
Nah,
craft them and
nah,
equip them in
no,
game. So I am
no.
limited
They're like Pokemon.
to 4 abilities, 2 additional abilities that you can equip. You learn a set number of abilities.
Oh, is that
and
the
then you have
boar?
an entire talent tree.
No, never mind,
Now
it's
I
not.
opted to utilize the fire elemental tree. There are a number of different elemental affinities that the mage has. You can opt for fire, you can
shit.
opt for ice, you can opt for
Just a
lightning.
bore, Asmon. Chill out.
Now, I didn't play a lightning build. I didn't play an ice build. I felt like the ice was inferior to fire in terms of damage and in terms of AoE potential. I prefer grouping hordes of enemies together and then AoEing them.
Yeah,
That's
for
just
sure.
how I like to play my games. Now, fire allowed for me to do that. Fire gave me single target, gave me dot damage, and also gave me AoE pressure that I feel like the other elements just didn't. And
Sure.
I feel like being presented with the ability to play a class a certain way or a number of ways creates a degree of freedom that you don't typically find in MMOs. As an example,
I think that what he's saying is like there's kind of like ARPG elements of it. Maybe, I don't know, because like I mean WoW had that with like Fire, Frost, Arcane Mage, etc. But like I think that really what he's trying to get at the most is the fact that you can easily switch between them. That's what makes it good.
9999. What he probably means is not that you can switch, but that you can customize your combat abilities and what you're playing with to kind of have more of an immersive feeling when battling and have more of a like I chose this path type of like battle, type of like combat. That's pretty much.
in Final Fantasy XIV, you play a
Yeah,
black
you can
mage,
do whatever the fuck you want to do.
and every black mage is going to play the same way. You'll have the exact same rotation. You have the same buffs. In Blue Protocol, that's not the case. You can choose 4 abilities out of
Yeah,
20,
there's a lot of
out
customization.
30. So you're very limited in what you can do. You're very limited.
You are. You're limited to the top 4 that you look up on Max Roll or on the YouTube best.
The abilities have different levels to them, so you can level up your ability out of the ones that you can pick. You can level up that ability and it gets stronger with more to it.
Blue Protocol Mage Guide video, and it's like it says use Fire Lance, use Ice Nova, use Electric Shock, and use Meteor. Okay, all right. So those are the 4 abilities that you use. Oh, you see somebody using Ice
This
Lance,
is
not Fire
NPC
Lance?
talk.
Oh, that guy's fucking garbage. Don't invite him. He's trash. He didn't even watch the video.
in your utility.
Like
You know,
imagine using a guide.
Focus on AoE. You're not going to be able to single target. If you focus on single target, you're not going to be able to AoE. If you focus on a more of a control build, you're not going to be able to really deal much damage, but you're going to be able to CC enemies. You can focus on more of a support build and be of a larger support to your group, but not necessarily controlling enemies or dealing direct damage to them.
I killed
So
this
the
thing.
game provides you these unique freedoms that a lot of other MMOs don't. And there are MMOs that do. I'm not saying there aren't MMOs that don't already do that. I'm saying typically of the MMOs that I have played, that is not a common recurring theme.
Wow.
Yes. Playing
Wow.
your class, you have a lot more freedom with how you play your class.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie. You know, this guy MMO Byte, the energy that he has right now compared to the energy that he had a while ago when he said Blue Protocol was gonna be dead on release, it's sounding a lot. It's writing. A lot of writing going on here.
To play your class.
A lot of
Absolutely,
writing.
That's true. Yeah.
A lot of writing.
Which is good.
Now, the game is definitely linear. there is a linear path where you move from point A to point B to point C, back to point A to complete what you set out to complete. And this is a repetitious cycle, but that's typically what MMOs are.
The game
Oh, Sailor, sorry. Thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Than Lost Ark at launch, and it's also more repetitive than Final Fantasy.
So you have a sense
I feel like
of
we're all ready for the repetitiveness, though. That's like
and you
every
also
MMO.
have that sense of freedom. With
Repetitiveness is every game, period.
The world itself also has a level of freedom, in so that there are quest objectives that you're forced to do to progress with the main story, or to progress with the side content in the game. Then there is the looting of all the shiny objects that are around, and there are a surplus of them, trust me. There are gems, there are
seeds,
plants, herbs, or there are various different categories.
I think gathering in this game isn't very good. I don't think gathering is interesting at all in this game.
Pretty sure he's just saying that because of the RNG. I think a lot of people weren't happy about the RNG with the gathering and some of the quests that revolved around gathering certain things or getting certain items from killing monsters.
All you go up to is you just go up to a shiny, and then you press a button, your character does a default animation, and then you have the item. It seems very boring.
And
imagine picking something up.
Of all of the items is something you're going to be doing
how you do it.
Trust me, because
what does Asmon want? Does he want like you to go up to the item, do a backflip, and then it's put into your inventory?
Let me kind of veer off here into adventure rank, because I feel like this is integral to pretty much the rest of my thoughts on the game. Adventure rank in this game is essentially the gate with which you need to progress through if you want to continue making any kind of progress through the game. At level 6, I believe I hit a point where I could not take any more quests. This is because to progress any further, I needed to hit adventure rank level 2. Now, hitting adventure rank level 2 meant that I needed...
You see, I didn't even know that, because adventure rank level 2 is it's in Japanese. So I just thought I couldn't play the game.
Okay. They low-key did talk about, not even low-key, they definitely talked about adventure rank and how that was something that you had to pay attention to and make sure you're leveling up in the dev streams. I forget which one. I'm pretty sure it might have been before 6.0, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, in the dev streams, they definitely went over the adventure rank. And then the translated version, I watched Aether Song, and he pretty much translated that. So I feel like, if you know, you know.
To unlock a number of different
I didn't
conditions.
Even know that.
These conditions involve things like killing X amount of monsters.
I actually don't think this is stupid. I know some people might be negative about this. I actually find this good. Because this isn't a game, like, my understanding is that this game doesn't really have a lot of alts. Like, why would you have alts whenever you're just making one character that can play every class? So, I kind of like that. I think it's cool. Because that way it gives you more reasons to go out and do activities outside of just spamming quests to just get to the max level as fast as possible and not even enjoying the game. Like, it was kind of... I don't like hard locks like Tower of Fantasy had, but I do think that it was kind of cool how whenever the first day, after everybody did the main story quest, they were just running around exploring the game. I think that's kind of cool. But to give that exploration meaning, other than just like filling up a meaningless bar to where you can actually keep progressing through exploring, I think is good. I like it.
This is why I like Asmongold, okay? Like, some stuff he says, I'm like, whatever. But he never seems to regurgitate random or just facts. I feel like that's actually a good stand, a good take on that. And I definitely think that way as well. That's probably why I'm agreeing with it so much, because that's exactly how I'm thinking about it. It's really smart. Good job, Asmon. Good job.
Picking X amount of rocks
like
out
smart
in the
guy.
world, picking X amount of this specific flower, fishing for X amount of fish. These are things that you can do while exploring. Yeah. These are things that you can do while doing other quests, while killing other...
Bro, what is he trying to catch? Is he trying to catch the Loch Ness Monster?
Nessie.
Holy fuck. I swear to God, if he fucking
trying to catch Nessie?
finishes this and it's a minnow, I'm going to lose my mind.
They're monsters while fighting monsters in dungeons. Like, these are things that you're going to need to fit into your everyday activities if you want to progress. And this is a 100.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me?
What is that?
A dick-nosed redfish?
Whoa. Kind of a cool looking fish, though.
Come on.
And whose dick does that look like? What the fuck?
You cannot ignore your adventure rank, otherwise you won't learn new abilities.
What the
you
fuck?
won't unlock new story. You'll be unlocking additional dungeons. You'll hit a wall.
Yep.
And this is a wall that cannot be overcome unless you, again, complete all of these prerequisite conditions. Admittedly, the adventure rank can be annoying. I did find it to be a little bit frustrating because this was a Japanese beta, and therefore I didn't understand much of what was going on, and I could only translate so much accurately. So I was often left just kind of running around, hoping what I'm looting is what I needed to loot to unlock and further progress through all of the conditions that were necessary to unlock the adventure rank level 2. But backtracking a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's just friction created by playing a Japanese beta through a VPN. That's not a problem with the game. I think that playing the game and having an actual an adventure rank, it does encourage people to do things other than just like mindlessly grind or like no life the MSQ and just skip through everything. I actually think that it's a better system.
The game, linear, while also offering a degree of freedom. Now, as I played the original beta, I noted at the beginning that there were a lot of issues that needed fixed, that needed remedied, because it dragged the game down and really made it feel cheap. That is not the case with this beta test. This beta test had a lot of revamped features, a lot of revamped functions, mechanics, content, and made for a very enjoyable experience. There's a lot of depth to this game. There's more depth to this game than I feel is typically present in other.
Okay, I'm not mad at MMO Byte about what he's saying, because like it's positive. He's on the positive side. But what I don't understand is how he's saying all this stuff about like the aspects of the game, but literally everything that you saw in the beta was everything that it was put into the dev streams. Like, I'm starting to think that he hasn't watched a single dev stream, because every single dev stream, they're talking about everything new, what you could be looking forward to, things that they're changing. Like, everything was in the dev stream. So I'm so confused as to why he seems so surprised by this. And the thing was, when he made the statement that Blue Protocol would be dead on release due to like pay to win and all this stuff like that, that we were already like a couple dev streams in. Like the stuff that he's talking about, we already knew about in the dev stream. So I feel like that should have been like something he was taking into consideration before he made like certain statements. But I mean, hey, I'm happy that he's on the pod. I'm happy he's rooting for the game, you know?
I will believe that whenever I actually...
It's a bit writing though. It's a bit writing.
Like, and I do think that like character leveling depth is good. And I do think that it's definitely a breakaway point that Blue Protocol does better than most other games. Absolutely. But like the depth is really going to be decided whenever you see the end game.
True.
Any class you want to on a single character.
That's like every MMO. You never know how good an MMO is until you hit in game, honestly.
Eden Eternal did this. I know Final Fantasy 14 did this, but it's not something typically MMOs allow for. So
yeah,
you can level
I like
all the classes on one single character.
I don't like having to play multiple characters. It's fucking annoying, and I feel like any accomplishment that I make on my other character is an accomplishment that I don't make on my main character.
True.
It's like I have this like constant sense of opportunity cost.
Imagine system where you craft Imagine, which are creatures that you can equip, use in battle to provide you additional abilities. Like as a mage, I equipped one that could heal me and heal other players that weren't even in my party out in the field, which gave me additional survivability, additional utility in a group environment. You could also equip those purely for a statistical advantage.
That's all I did.
Because they give you an item level like advantage to enter dungeons.
I think when it comes down to Imagine, it's going to be DPS for me pretty much only.
By equipping Imagine,
plus a heal.
Function
Yeah, so okay, that's fine.
But mainly
like there's a lot
DPS.
of games that have that. I mean, Lost Ark has that. Final Fantasy has that. Like most games have this. Like WoW is actually one of the only games that doesn't have that, like an item level requirement to actually enter a dungeon.
Similarly to gear, while also providing a skill. So they fill a multitude of different roles. And then there are combat, imagine, that you can use. So again, they fill a lot of roles. There are a lot of life skills. Fishing. There is a very large focus on crafting. Gear is only obtained through crafting.
Yeah, it seems like it is. That's crazy.
You need to go out, you need to farm
Holy
items
fuck.
to craft your gear. And if you're not a crafter like I am, I hate crafting.
I have no idea what level he is here, but I'm assuming it's like low.
At the same time, like
only level
you just
15.
play the game. That's what it is. Like I'm not a big crafter either. I want to
And
kill
it's
a
purple,
dragon.
so he's
get a
probably like
sword,
around like
that's it.
level
All
like
right, that's the best sword. We done. All right, I'm quitting.
6 maybe or 5.
Like that's what I want to do. Like if I have to make an item, it is what it is. But like yeah, that's all there is to it. Yeah, I guess LFR does have item level requirements too. You're right about that.
You're not going to obtain gear necessarily from boss drops or world boss drops or dungeon boss drops. So I guess it is attempting to separate itself from that whole gear, the whole necessity behind farming repetitiously for gear and then being disappointed when you don't obtain it. Because there's nothing worse than trying to attempt to get this piece of gear from a very highly ranked competitive dungeon or raid, farming it for a month, 2 months, not getting the single piece you need, seeing everyone else get all the different gear that they wanted. The alternative here is that you enter...
I think that you do need some level of RNG. Like it is disappointing, but having some RNG drops is probably good. I'm not a fan of no RNG, but I do think RNG, you should be able to overcome it by playing more.
If no RNG, it would be like you would literally have to meet some type of criteria to get exactly what you want, like maybe like a flawless or something like that. Because with RNG, you know, it gives it reason to play it again and spend more time playing the game. If you can just get something without like actually having to put in like time, besides like the 20 to 30 minutes that you put in originally, then it's just like, what are you going to do after? You're just going to move right on to the next thing? Like, I don't know. I feel like it'd make the game kind of dry, right?
Dungeons, you enter these raids and you get materials. These materials are then used to craft
you
gear
gotta have
that
chase items
otherwise get, or that you're not going to get. So there's
Final
never
Fantasy
a point
does
where
it
you're
well
not receiving
with
something
totems.
beneficial for you or for your future gear. Thus, there's always a purpose behind what you're running, and you never feel disappointed necessarily in what you get.
Okay.
Unless, you know, you only need like one item left, and for whatever reason you're not obtaining it. But I feel like that should be a rare case given the amount of material, the amount of resources you get during and even after completing each dungeon. The world itself, absolutely beautiful. Graphically,
I agree with this. The biggest drawback
I agree with
in
this
game in general, overall, is that there are too many loading screens.
Well, it's instance
It feels
based.
so weird to go inside of one zone to different loading screens. Like I can forgive something where it's like,
Plus, it's
you're
server
going
based.
into the main city,
So there has to be a loading screen because you're loading into the server.
Sure, of course. But like loading screens inside of the zone to go to different zones, like that's too much, man. Like that's like we're going back in time to like the year 2001. Like what the fuck? Like I think that having a vast open world is really nice, and I didn't really like Lost Ark and Final Fantasy. They have a lot of these loading screens too. I think it's a negative. I think it was a negative too with Shadowlands too.
Too bad, man. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad.
Or like effectively a loading screen with a
Too
flight
bad.
path
Too sad.
to go to each different area in Shadowlands.
Too
for
bad.
an
Too
anime
sad.
game, I think Blue Protocol is the most stunning anime MMO I have ever seen.
Yeah,
Wow.
Is one of the,
the style and the
better looking
graphics are
anime games.
The
incredible.
writing is
I
insane.
know there are
Great.
going to be Genshin players in here that are like, oh, but Genshin looks better. I don't think so. I actually think Blue
Genshin
Protocol,
definitely does not look better
graphically
than
for its
Genshin.
regions
Bro.
is
Genshin
equivalent
does
to Genshin
definitely
Impact.
not
if
look better
I
than
feel
BP.
like with a lot of these games, you're
Genshin
reaching a
doesn't come
ceiling.
close. Doesn't come
And every
close.
single game
to BP
is pretty
graphics.
much at that ceiling. I would say Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Blue Protocol, they are all at the ceiling. None of them are really that much better or worse than the other.
That's cap. Blue Protocol is
pretty much
a
the same.
million times better.
not even better. I think the
A
character models,
million times better.
the fluidity in the character
What are we saying,
animations
Asmon?
are drastically superior to Genshin.
Like that's how I know Asmon doesn't watch anime like that.
I would disagree with that. I think that the facial structure on the Genshin Impact characters is tremendously better than the Blue Protocol characters. I think the Blue Protocol characters
What?
characters
in the character animations are drastically superior to Genshin Impact.
I would disagree with that. I think that the facial structure on the Genshin Impact characters is tremendously better than the Blue Protocol characters.
What is he talking about? Bro, this is how I know he does not watch anime. Bro, first off, anything that locks you into a facial structure period is bad. Okay? It's bad. And I say that because Genshin, you can actually customize your facial structure. You can actually like you could literally, or no. Blue Protocol. Oh my God, my bad. Blue Protocol, you can customize your facial structure. So say that you want to have a character that kind of looks reminiscent to Genshin Impact. That's easy. You could literally get that type of facial structure a bit and have a Blue Protocol character that looks better than a Genshin character. I don't know what he's talking about.
I think the Blue Protocol characters, they lack the depth of emotion that the Genshin Impact characters have, and it's like very hard for me to explain this.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing out of this guy, man. I cannot believe
Hopefully
this.
people are gonna get this. This is the best example I can use. Season 1 Log Horizon, like animation, versus Overlord Season 4. Whereas Overlord Season 4 is like Genshin Impact, and I feel like Log Horizon is like Blue Protocol. So like if you've watched both of those animes, you would know that. That's probably the best example.
What?
I can't think of anything else that would like really work.
What are you talking about?
That's Overlord is too much CGI. Well, it still looks a lot better.
What the hell is he talking about?
To any gacha game,
bro.
During cutscenes, with how
he compared Log Horizon,
individual parts
Season
of their bodies,
4,
their fingers, their facial expressions,
just graphic quality, period, just animation styles, like
backwards and interacting with
movement
the environment.
In this game is
so
great.
Overlord.
Everything is just so high quality.
Oh my God, bro!
People that did Code Vein. They are the people that published.
Oh my
Ring.
God!
Code Vein movement's very
developed
good too.
a ton of Tales of games, so they have a very long history with success.
I don't think I've ever disagreed with Asmongold more, honestly.
Drastically superior.
Wow.
I think the combat is below average as melee and above average as ranged.
I had played back during the previous beta test. The first beta was very clunky. This was so smooth. Everything just moved in unison. Running around, attacking, transitioning from attacking to your mount, transitioning from your mount to your attacks.
Yeah,
aerial
all
combat,
that's extremely clean.
Grounded combat.
He's right about this.
Combat where you're jumping off a cliff and shooting enemies as you fall.
That's very cool.
The combat was phenomenal. Granted, the abilities were admittedly, for the first few hours, very plain, very ordinary, not very impactful, but that makes sense.
That's because you have to upgrade your abilities. So, of course, they're kind of like vanilla state when you get them. But then the more you level it up, the better they get, the more flashier they get. So.
Since we were only, I think, level 4 or 5 for the first 4 hours of the stream, we are also limited to a max level of 20, I believe, for this test phase. So we're not going to be able to see what abilities we get at level 30 or 40, whatever they end up making the cap ultimately end up. But the combat...
I don't think that you can give abilities the same level of weight and feel that something like Elden Ring has whenever you're playing a multiplayer game. It's like, for example, whenever McConnell and I played Elden Ring, Seamless Co-op, we just dumpstered the entire game because we were spam staggering every single mob. Like, we killed Godric with level 1 spells. Just spamming at him with like starter weapons, just spamming because of all the stagger and the knockback. So you just can't have that in an MMO in the same way.
It's absolutely phenomenal. It blew my expectations out of the water.
I played Elden
having
Ring,
played it
so
originally. I feel like
I wouldn't
for
really
the first
compare
10
Elden
hours
Ring
of playing an MMO,
skills to Blue Protocol skills, but I don't know.
and I played this in Japanese, so I spent a solid like hour and a half trying to translate everything on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But my first 10 hours spent in Blue Protocol, this new version of it, this finalized version of it, were better than I thought they were going to be. My impressions were so far above. I did not anticipate to have as much fun as I did. Now,
I would say that I genuinely enjoyed the game whenever I stopped trying to just min-max leveling and I was just running around playing the game. Actually trying to min-max leveling was kind of frustrating because of how grindy it felt. But as soon as I just was looking around, like just going and doing different stuff, I started enjoying it a lot more.
I'm not saying it will continue to be as fun. I'm not saying it won't grow to be even more fun as I continue to unlock new features. Like additional dungeons, like the raids I did. The dungeons of which were actually a lot of fun. There were interesting mechanics in the dungeons that I could utilize to deal additional damage to monsters, additional damage to bosses. But I don't want to delve too deeply into this on day one because my opinion of certain features and certain aspects of the game are likely going to change as I progress through it on day 2 and spend 20 hours in the game. They're likely going to change as I progress through on day 3 and cover 30 hours of the game. So my opinion thus far, after 10 hours of network test, beta test on day 1, is that if the game launches in this state, it is going to be a monumental success. It is going to cater.
I think it will no matter what. I think the game is going to be a success pretty much no matter
what. Whoa. Let me hear that one more time.
Into this on day 1 because my certain features and certain aspects of the game are likely going to change as I progress through it on day 2 and spend 20 hours in the game. They're likely going to change as I progress through on day 3 and cover 30 hours of the game. So my opinion thus far, after 10 hours of network test, beta test on day 1, is that if the game launches in this state, it is going to be a monumental success. It is going to...
Wow. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. It's crazy to me. Like I'm amazed. I am amazed at what I'm hearing right now. I haven't really caught up or stayed I haven't really stayed up to date with him since a video a while back. I haven't really kept up with him or watched his videos since then. But wow, I'm genuinely surprised. You know, I'm happy about it though. I'm happy that he's saying this stuff because I mean it's cool. You know, I'm glad. But at the same time, it's just like, man, it's kind of it's like a completely different. It's like a
After the
it's like a completely different. Like what he's saying right now is like exactly the opposite of what he said before. Like quite literally the opposite of what he said before. I don't know. I don't know. I know it's a big pause right now, but that's just because like I'm okay. Yeah, this is what I thought because so this is what it was 3 months ago.
That advantage. If these are all going to be present in the full version of the game, Blue Protocol will be dead on arrival. There's no contesting that opinion. There will be no recovering from the monstrous amount of pay to win present, with free players being treated like second-class citizens.
So this is, you know, this is his take on pay to win and just like the game period. But all of what I'm trying to get at is the fact that like right now, everything that he's saying, he's stating this, he's making this statement. All right. That is pretty much kind of crazy to me because he had all the same information that he had when he made that video. And now he's saying this. Now he's saying,
oh, my opinion thus far, after 10 hours of network
he
test,
played the game
test on day one, is that
and he didn't pay any money.
If the game launches in this state, it is going to be a monumental success. It is going to cater.
I think it will no matter what. I think the game is going to be a success pretty much
Facts.
no matter what.
Facts, Asmon. And I've been saying that. Bro, I've been saying that this game's going to be a success no matter what. Because it's a good game. It's a good game. Pay to win, no pay to win, free to play. It's going to be a good game. Okay? Like, I've been saying this. I'm just at awe at the fact that he really switched sides like that. But whatever.
Because obviously
I'm gonna let it go because
extremely popular right now.
It is what it is.
And I think that people have been looking for an MMO that has this style.
Oh my god.
It's just that there have been so many MMOs that can't do that for whatever reason.
Oh my god. And I also understand that monetization is a huge, like it is a very huge part of like whether a game's gonna succeed or not. Okay? I understand that. It's massive. But at the same time, you can also say that just the game being good, just the game being enjoyable is also probably the biggest part of any game having any type of success. Because no one wants to play a bad game. But when it comes to monetization, especially when it comes to a free to play game, you don't have to pay money. So if you're just not going to, if you're going to be free to play and you're playing a game that you enjoy playing, it's actually a decent game. You're telling your friends about it, this and that. How is it gonna fail? Like this game was never gonna fail, but it feels so good to hear it coming out of this guy's mouth though, because pause. But like, wow, it feels good.
Anime fans, 100%. But beyond that, this game feels so smooth, feels so high quality. I can't wait for all of you to get to test this out because this again exceeded my expectation.
Wow.
And if Amazon don't ruin it, and they have the potential to, but they also have the potential not to. And if the
I don't think Amazon's going to ruin it.
Isn't ruined from Bandai Namco,
I think the only problem that people actually have is probably going to be the fact that there's going to be some nerfs in certain areas with customization and kind of going to be marketed towards children as well, instead of just like to everyone. Well, it is to everyone, but like they're trying to kind of make things a bit less mature, I guess, which isn't a problem for me. I don't really care.
I don't know if they're gonna do that or not. I feel like if they do that, it's just gonna hurt the game. So like if they try it, and also like you've got to keep in mind that like Lost Ark has like certain other pay to win features in Korea that don't exist in the US because it's published by Amazon.
Exactly.
So maybe Amazon will make it better. I don't know.
Exactly.
I think that really we'll cross that bridge whenever we get to its situation. And if the game is worse and it's super pay to win, then people will probably drop off and move away from it. That's what's happened with Lost Ark. And the reason why people have moved away from Lost Ark, a lot of the reason is because of it being pay to win. Not directly, but indirectly.
That's very true.
The reason why you have to farm Chaos Dungeons on 10 different characters is to incentivize you to use the pay-to-win systems instead. You think if there was no way to pay to win, you'd have to play the game that way? Fuck no. It's designed that way on purpose in order to promote pay to win.
Heavily catering to whales. Then I think this might be, potentially, one of the biggest releases of the year and the only anime MMO that is left that is relevant and that is of any kind of success in the genre.
Bro, do you hear the writing? Oh, wow. Like Asmon's face, that's the face I'm making. Wow, bro. Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy.
On Twitch, an hour from now, roughly, or if this video ended up being like 20 minutes long, 40 minutes from now, as we continue through day 2.
My God.
Additional progress. If not, I'll have another video of day 2.
This is literally a full 360
tomorrow, or alternatively,
you know what?
If Blue Protocol isn't your thing,
forget the 360. This is literally getting off the tracks and switching into a completely different vehicle. Like, this is insane, dude. This is insane. I don't want to see him dance.
I think that Valorant is great. I think that
all right, Aspen, stop talking about anything. Wow. Oh, okay. So at the end of the day, my final take on this whole entire thing is, no matter what way you look at it, or no matter what way I look at it, in my opinion, MMO Byte switched sides. He was definitely doubting, definitely low-key, not gonna say praying, but made it seem like he was not for it, with the whole entire Blue Protocol being good, or even playable, or even marketable. It's good to hear that he's saying that it's gonna be one of the best, more relevant anime games ever. But at the end of the day, I'll never forget that, because for me, it's just like, he went from like, this is a game that you should look out for, to this game is gonna be dead on release. No one's gonna want to play. This game's gonna be dead. To this might be the best game I've ever played. This might be the best MMO, anime MMO I've ever had the whatever of playing. It's so smooth, whatever. Because like everything that he's saying, pretty much it all ties in together. So at the end of the day, we don't know if this is going to be his final take on Blue Protocol. Probably won't be, but he starts off negative, goes positive. It's balanced now. So that's what it is. It's balanced. But at the end of the day, he's really going to have to pick a side. Because if the game feels this good, if the game's so smooth to play, if it's so beautiful, the graphics are so good, if the animation style is really good, if the combat's super awesome, if it's that good the way he's making it sound, then what he was saying earlier about the monetization shouldn't matter. And I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't matter, is because all the monetization is cosmetic and level boosting, maybe some enhancements. That's about it. That's about it. No PvP doesn't matter to me, in my opinion. You might have a different opinion on that. And you might not agree with what I had to say in this video. And if you didn't agree, leave a comment below. But yeah, thanks for watching my video, guys. I definitely stand by what I said earlier with the fact that Blue Protocol is going to be the best MMO ever. I don't care. Going to be the best MMO. I strongly believe in that. And I'll never switch sides. BP gang for life. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.